already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. We got the one man and the only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. And then we also got my man, TikTok legend from the Loaded Podcast, my man, Joshy, man. What's going on with you, man?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Doing all
Hey,
right, man.
good.
I'm glad you could join us today.
Of course, of
Yeah,
course.
man.
I appreciate y'all having me on. It's the honor.
Anytime.
Hey, honors all ours, man. Look, we got to talk about some of the great things that happened with the good old Night of Champions. It was a little different, and a few things that was, I guess, a little questionable. Not too much, but they kicked it off with good old Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Man, now look, I'm not gonna lie, this match was a banger of a match, especially to start it off with. Now you want to talk about something that's a little old school, okay? Cody Rhodes will tell you. He's been with my man Arn Anderson. And the funny thing is, when you talk about Cody Rhodes and you talk about Randy Orton, okay, Cody Rhodes is more of an old school kind of guy. One thing I remember that Cody Rhodes talked about on Chris Van Vliet when he used to talk with Arn Anderson back in his AEW days. Pick a body part. The body part that this man, Cody Rhodes, picked was the back. And I thought that was really good. Played a good part with it. I loved it, man. And to be honest, okay, the RKOs that came out of nowhere was insane. That being said, the fact that this man, Cody Rhodes, kicked out about almost two to three of them was just crazy. But I mean, it was a banger. And honestly, it's going to be King Cody going up against John Cena SummerSlam, man. I can't wait. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, I thought this was a good match. It was like reminded me of one of them old school technical matches. I thought Randy did a great job selling the back injury, for after the superplex off the top rope. Yeah, it was a real good match. I'm really kind of surprised at this one, just a little bit. I shouldn't say really. I'm surprised at this just a little bit because I thought that Randy had been picking up a little bit of steam, a little bit of momentum with this whole I want to be a 15-time titleist, and I thought maybe this could be in his picture, be in the picture somewhere for him, and maybe they would hold Cody off until like end of the year, Royal Rumble type of time frame. But I mean, it was still good to see your quarterback, as they keep calling Cody, go over and be the king of the ring to face John Cena at SummerSlam, which we had kind of been talking about like that being. Because based on the amount of dates left, I know they keep saying he's going to go throughout the year, but he was down to 18 and he's made, I think, 3 more appearances since then, if you're including Riyadh in it. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to get all the way to December. So I'm assuming he's going to be wrapping it up sometime around SummerSlam and maybe make an appearance or two somewhere later in the year, because there's just not enough dates left unless he's just going to add some more. Just trying to do the math based on, how many dates he had left. So, I mean, at SummerSlam, it looks like we might be in for an interesting time. And something that happened later on, I wanted to kind of link back to this. So just remind me about that in case I forget to.
Josh, what are your
Yo.
thoughts, man? What you think about it, man?
So as somebody who grew up in the era of the Legend Killer, of just the guy terrorizing just the entirety of the roster, my hate for Randy runs very, very deep. But with that being said, last night's match was really great, and I gotta. No amount of hate can't give me at least some side of respect for Randy. Like he could still go. Like Randy could still go.
Yeah.
And Cody has also proven that he could go with the best of them.
Yeah.
He could, like you said, he got a lot of that old schoolness in him.
Yeah.
And I think that's a style that's not appreciated as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And just that match last night proved like, yeah, old school wrestling could still hit these days. And just the match itself was good. Like you said, they were selling the back injury really, really well throughout the whole match. And even when Cody was doing that, the little back stretch thing, when he was doing that, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a at least in my eyes, that wasn't a face thing. I'm like, Cody, are you okay, Cody? Like, are you really like trying to go after that back? I'm like, is this like a little planting of the seeds of what Cody's gonna probably do to Cena at Mania and match his like forget the rules? Like, I don't know, but the match itself was really, really good yesterday. I enjoyed it. It was, I think, the right guy won. Um, and then the ending of the match. I mean, the post interview and Randy just looking back at Cody and
Yeah.
just, boy, I'm like, okay. See, this is exactly why for years and years and years, no matter how many face runs Randy has had, I'm like, you could just don't trust that guy, man. Don't trust that guy. If y'all new wrestling fans, the one thing I'm always gonna tell you, don't trust that guy, Randy. Don't trust that guy. Don't. But man, it was fun. It was exciting. So I definitely enjoyed it. I can't wait for the SummerSlam match. I'm hoping and praying, and I think it will be better than Cena Cody 1. I think Cena Cody 2 will be better. So let's go. It was a good start to the pay-per-view. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
really
was.
good.
And something else, just to your point too, Jay. A little bit of the storytelling in there that was kind of like interesting was that Randy had the chance to punt Cody, and he looked like he was going back and forth about it. And I was a little shocked at that because, you know, Randy has been saying, if I get the opportunity, like I will go through my brother, like to get to number 15. So I was like, what is the hesitation here? Like, Randy, give him the punt. Let's put him away. Like, this is for King of the Ring. This is for 15. And then when he finally made up his mind and went for it, it was too little, too late.
Yeah, man. Yeah, way too little, too late.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny how you talked about that, Josh. The way how, you know, like when he did the ring post to the back, and I thought to myself, maybe we are possibly seeing little nuggets of that
Mm-hmm.
real American Nightmare, that real heel Cody that we know. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely agree with you, man. I definitely agree. But definitely a banger of a match. Great way to start off the show. The crowd really popped for Randy's music, man.
Man.
I'm not gonna
They
lie.
did.
When they look, I'm tell you something. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, them chills was crazy.
Yeah.
I said, man, these goosebumps just got. Hey, I thought that was incredible for Randy, man. When like you could tell he was just astonished and just grateful for everything, man. So yeah, hats off to both of those guys. They both killed it, both delivered. And yeah, definitely can't wait to see Cody and Cena 2 at SummerSlam. But
Yep, and shout out to Patrick. He's dropped
hey,
a
what's
couple
up,
of
Patrick?
statements,
Yeah.
and
What's up, Patrick? What's going on, buddy?
yeah, he also agrees that Cody versus Randy looked a little heelish. So
On
yeah,
both parts, too. That's the funny thing.
yeah,
Yeah, like they both had like moments, both had moments of going heel, but then they were like, "Nah, this is my friend, this is my brother." I say more
Right.
for Randy more than Cody. Cody ain't give a damn. He just did whatever he wanted. He's like, "Look, I just got to
Right.
get to that title, whatever it costs." Like
Maybe it could
he's
be the
all for
story
it.
of my fault, but maybe it could be the story of which one turns heel first.
I like
mm,
that. I like that.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah,
But you know, then the next match that they kicked it off with, which I think was a banger of a match, it was a little bit of a
Mm-hmm.
shock, was
Mm-hmm.
Rhea and Raquel. Man, look, this street fight was a banger. I loved every spot that they did. The crazy
Mm-hmm.
spot, I think, to me, honestly, it wasn't even the finish or the ending of the match. I thought the spot for me personally was when Rhea took that piece from the announce table
Oh
and then she
yeah.
set it up, and then Raquel gave her that power bomb through. Man, what? That
Yeah.
was crazy. Okay,
yeah.
I loved every bit of what they did. What I thought personally when I seen Roxanne, I said, okay, this is what I like to see. But I just really thought with Roxanne being there, I thought, okay, this is Raquel's time to go over. And now I feel like that was going to really involve and help that story a little bit more for Roxanne Perez. Don't get me wrong, you know, they can still do a lot with this. But I think with Raquel winning, I think that would have definitely amplified the whole thing of Roxanne and everything. Because of course we even seen it on Raw when Roxanne helped Raquel the last time. Raquel kind of gave her that baby hug. I said, man, what is this? I like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. They're already telling this story starting off. So yeah, I just think if Raquel would have won it, I think that would have told a little bit more story for Roxanne again with mommy always on top, never mad at
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley getting that dub. But again, a great match. Uh, I wasn't mad about a thing. I love the spot they did with the kendo stick. Uh, I mean, come on. First of all, when you put a trash can on somebody, for some reason, I always get those memories and thoughts with Io Sky with a trash can on top of her, just jumping off the steel cage. But I loved everything that they did. I loved the match. Rhea, hey, you got it, mommy. Hopefully this will help her maybe propel her to that, that Io versus Rhea match that people keep talking about. So we might see something happening with that. We'll see. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, again, I thought this was another good match. And to be honest with you, Night of Champions was just filled with 6 great matches. I was very happy for Raquel Rodriguez more than anything, because this was like the first time in a while that we kind of been able to see her in a one-on-one match. I think when she first came in, they were kind of pushing her, and then I know she had some health issues, and then since she's come back, they really haven't put her back in the main picture again as a singles competitor. She's doing the tag team thing in the Judgment Day, and that's fine too. But I think Raquel Rodriguez reminded people that was watching, or at least showed people who weren't familiar with her from NXT and to now, that she can go in the ring and that she can stand on her own as a singles competitor. And I was really, really impressed and happy for Raquel Rodriguez in this moment, because of the fact, she's in the ring with someone like Rhea Ripley, and it's them two together, their chemistry, the way they worked and all that kind of stuff. She really held her own, and some of the spots that they pulled off and did in it, I mean, it was great work. I specifically do like the finish of the match from doing off the table, because I was nervous for both of those ladies, because I'm like, I don't think this table is set up correctly.
Yeah.
But they got it done, and it made sense. And then my last little piece on this was, I also liked how Roxanne Perez came out and interfered, but I like how it didn't go with the typical ending. Like when you see Roxanne come out, I'm like, oh man, Raquel's about to win this, because now it's 2 against 1. There's no way, mommy's going to be able to be on top. She's outnumbered. And this is probably leading to a story of Roxanne saying, see, I told you I can be the replacement for Liv Morgan. I told you, I can be that other competitor. But what's the girl? Rhea Ripley got the best of both of them. So it was good. I mean, I really liked it. I like how it finished. I like the finishing spot. So yeah. Shout outs to those ladies for delivering a banger of a match.
Facts.
Yeah, man. They killed it. Joshy, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
So my initial thoughts for the match was, because I remember their rivalry back on NXT, and I knew Rhea and Raquel had good chemistry. So like their last man standing match on NXT was great. So I'm like, okay, this is finally Raquel's chance to like show everybody that she still got it, like that, or she just has it in general. With that being said, my initial thoughts when she lost, damn, even with Roxanne, like, damn. But then I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Let me think about this. It's Rhea. It's not like she lost to somebody who knew. I don't want to disrespect anybody. So it's not like she just lost to a scrub or somebody. So, okay, she lost to Rhea. Then I thought, damn, Roxanne kind of got embarrassed. But at the same time, she took a bullet for Raquel. So I'm just like, wait a minute. Hold on. It's the summertime. And this is, for the past 2 summers, they cook with Judgment Day storylines. So I'm like, wait a minute. Time out. This is all leading up to clearly, what's her name? The little short one. Shoot.
Liv.
No, Roxanne. There we go.
Roxanne.
This is all Roxanne just proving herself to Raquel. Most important that, wait a minute, like I could probably not be Liv, but I could do things my way. And you see how Raquel's holding both the tag team titles. I don't think they're quite done with them yet. I don't think Triple H is going to retire them just yet. I think this is going to be the last try to like really push them to mean something. What happened a few years ago when Jade went down?
Yeah.
Here, Naomi, just be the tag team champion with me. Why can't they just do the same thing with Roxanne? Hey, Roxanne, be tag team champion with Raquel until, and of course, they're going to hold the tag team titles just until Liv comes back. And then when Liv comes back, just let the drama unfold. That's it. Just let the drama unfold. And I hope that's what they're setting up, is that like Roxanne proved herself to Raquel. Roxanne's proven herself to, and the Dom situation. That's going to be, I can't wait for that to blow up. because once Raquel trusts Roxanne, and Finn's gonna keep pushing it with JD, Dom is essentially by himself in all this, and he's gonna follow everybody else and be like, you know what? Once she helps him win that title match against AJ, then it's gonna be like, yeah, you part of the Judgment Day, and then that's when the drama gonna pop off. I can't wait for that. But yeah, it's like 3 straight summers that they just cook with Judgment Day storylines. Because last year was
Rhea and Liv.
Mm-hmm. The year before was Damien and Finn.
Yeah.
So it's like every summer they just like pick up the Judgment Day rivalry, and I give them credit for at least, you know, having moments and of a few months where it's just like the Judgment Day be cooking with their storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they have definitely got something, definitely something cooking. And honestly, like, it's crazy how you said that, Josh, because I really didn't think about that until now. And I was like, man, that is 100% true. So yeah, we could be looking at a really big surprise for SummerSlam. But you know, like I was saying before, not too long ago, you know, we could be seeing Liv come back for the Royal Rumble, maybe entry, you know, coming out at number 30. And then probably maybe that night, maybe that week after the Rumble, we'll probably see what it's like for Liv in the Judgment Day now that Roxanne's done a lot. And who knows? Roxanne probably in the Royal Rumble herself. Mm-hmm. So I'll be very, very intrigued to see what they do with this, man. They're cooking up with something real good with this, for sure.
Facts.
But you know, the next match they cooked up.
Oh yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. This man, Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Now I'm not gonna lie. This was completely a banger. You want to talk about how over Sami was in Saudi. I mean, this was incredible. It might have been one of the loudest pops I've heard in a good minute for Sami. And don't get me wrong, Sami always gets his pop, but this was special for him, man. Honestly, Karrion Kross, by the way, that stage, man, that Night of Champions, I mean, I love the stage they had. Even from SmackDown going on, man. They had a really beautiful looking stage, man. Like, the entrance for Karrion Kross looked great. But the funny thing was that, you know, Scarlett was walking down the ramp. I seen Scarlett more than I seen Karrion at one point. I said, who's really going to wrestle Sami? Is it Scarlett or is it Karrion Kross? You let me know. But I mean, yeah, they have a great match. They were really told that story. Karrion Kross getting in, Sami's in, saying, I told you. I said, man, this is good stuff, man. Karrion Kross. But for me, I really wanted to see Karrion Kross get over it and with the dub, man, because, you know, don't get me wrong. Karrion Kross has been he's been having a lot of momentum on Saturday nights, on main event. I couldn't even say Saturday night's main event, but on main event, he's been getting a lot of momentum there. When the people see him behind us backstage, gets an incredible pop every time. And I would have thought it would have told a little bit more of a story for Sami. You know, we've called him before on this show the lovable loser. And that's a fact. But the fact that this man just won, yesterday, I think it says a lot. Maybe he is on a climb to get some momentum. Now, that can definitely be neither here or there because I will still stick to my hot take and saying that Sami Zayn will win the Royal Rumble and win a world title at WrestleMania. It's happening, man. It is definitely happening. They are planting that seed, and they have been planting that seed for probably the last, month and a half, 2 months? So, yeah, we'll see definitely what's going on with him. But I'm curious to see what happens with Karrion Kross. Will he move on from Sami Zayn, or will he continue? And maybe we might see something more with him and Sami. Because honestly, I like the story that they're telling with them already so far. But for Karrion Kross, I think he's one of those guys where I think he can kind of move on to somebody else. And I hope it doesn't leave him, to keep losing. I don't want to see Karrion Kross keep losing. I want to see him get some dubs. I would like to see him win a title. So I think that would really work out for him also. But great match overall. I loved it. They had me sold because at one point I really thought Karrion had it. And then when Sami just ran in for that haluva kick, I said, well, that's it, people. And he got the dub. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, first off, happy birthday yesterday, Sydney, and thank you for watching and checking us out.
Yeah,
but as far as the match goes, yeah, I think I'm in agreement with Patrick and I think the rest of you guys that I really thought this would have been a great opportunity for Karrion Kross to win here, since we rarely see him actually have opportunities to wrestle and perform. But at the same time, though, I guess Sami can't stay or continue to be the lovable loser. I mean, he can't keep losing all these matches. At some point, we got to start building some type of momentum for him. especially if you're talking about the expectation of him winning the Rumble. And because I also think at the same time we're all in agreement that we probably want to see Sami Zayn actually win a championship at some point. And so that's the thing. It's like, when do we start this push for Sami? And so after the match was over and I saw Sami get the win, I thought, I probably would have rather have seen Karrion here go over just to see this story of what happens to people when they deal with Karrion Kross and to see if it affects Sami as well. Because they were kind of talking about that during the match as well, about the effect that Karrion Kross has on the different wrestlers. And they brought up the New Day as an example and said, look at how the New Day has been ever since they interacted with Karrion. And so I was wondering if the same thing was going to happen with Sami, and then we were going to get a different version of Sami going forward. But Sami got the dub, and at the same time, I'm like, all right, well, I guess at some point we got to start to push. But the match itself was good. They both did well. I like the trash talk that Karrion was giving Sami Zayn. Like, say it, Sami. He was giving him the business, but Sami pulled through, and so I'm just interested to see like where this takes Sami going forward into the future. Because I still got to figure out, LA Knight is part of this picture, and there's a lot of people that want him too. So,
yeah, man. Josh, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
The match was good. I'm so happy Kross was able to deliver, because I know it has to be deep down in his head. He was like, I'm on the PLE finally. I gotta deliver. I think he delivered. He 100% delivered. And the match, I was 50-50. This was another one. I was 50-50, like, damn, I wanted Kross to win. But then I'm like, Sami has been telling us lately, he's not an underdog anymore. He's not that NXT underdog anymore. And he's like that guy say, he was that lovable loser. And I'm in agreement. My prediction is too, he's winning the Rumble and he's winning the world title at Mania. So for that to happen, we got to really start believing he is no longer the underdog. So imagine just storyline wise, we haven't seen Kross in a match on TV in so long that, it could have looked good that he was off TV for so long, and he comes right back and gets a dub. But then it's like, damn, Sami, you still losing.
Yeah.
Now we got Sami winning against somebody who hasn't been on TV in so long. So now we can look at Sami as, okay, Sami, good. You got the job done. It don't mean the story's finished either. Knowing Kross, he probably come on Monday and say this was all part of the plan. Knowing Kross, he's probably going to say he wanted to lose. So, and the funny story too, I mentioned about Scarlett with the entrance. I was watching with my cousin who's a casual watcher, and he's never experienced a Karrion Kross entrance. So when she was walking down, he was like, wait a minute, what is this? Is this her entrance or Karrion Kross's entrance? I just busted out laughing. I'm like, don't worry, you'll see. Just trust me, this is a top 3 entrance in all of WWE. Like, we just haven't seen it. Like, but just like, it's a great entrance. Yeah. And he was like, oh, okay, I see now. Like, I get it. It was cool. So that was funny because, it seems like a her entrance instead of a his entrance.
Yeah.
But Sami, I think the right guy won. I don't even think Kross gets hurt from this loss. Now that I really think about it, because his character is not. It's more of a manipulating mind games type of character. So his character could take an L every so often, but I do believe he can't take another L. The next L will hurt him. So the next match he's in, he has to win. But overall, I'm excited about both guys' future. This did give me a little bit more optimist for Karrion's hopefully good future booking. So let's go. I'm with it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%, man. Because that was a really good match, and honestly, the thing that used to kind of kill me, they used to talk about Karrion Kross like he couldn't wrestle. And of course, some people pull up his clip, the match he had with AJ Styles a few years back. Of course, that was what, 3 years ago? Come on, stop playing with this man like he wasn't giving y'all bangers in Impact and giving you bangers in NXT before. It's crazy how it happens. People have one bad match, y'all just ready to just crucify anybody. But hey, man, Karrion Kross again, you delivered, you did your thing. Congrats to you, Sami. Y'all both delivered. Nice. But the next match that was a banger, some people say a banger. Well, no, this was a banger. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look, man, this was crazy. Okay. This match was insane. I love everything that they did. When we talk about aura, when we talk about storyline, when we talk about how good is this getting, man, look, this story here, they got a lot going on with this. I mean, again, Solo, what do you say? Four letters, one word, stop.
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 Man, look, I'm not gonna lie, but Solo has won me over on these last few months. He's been killing it with just doing stuff outside the ring with the whole everything. I mean, this Solo's got it, right? And the thing that I loved about this match, they brought back some people that I thought, and I called a few times on the TikTok panels before. I said, look, if anybody's gonna be making an appearance, it is going to be Hikalea. Well, as we know now, his name's supposed to be Tala Tonga. Tala Tonga. So he, because he's a Tonga anyway. But I called. I said, "Look, he's gonna be coming." I didn't think. I wasn't sure because, of course, we know how everything was going on with Saudi and everything. Some wrestlers didn't show up or didn't really want to come. So I was on the fence. I was like, he might be there, he might not. But when I seen this big brolic man pop up, pause. I said, "There it is. This is what we're looking for." And that was the end. Because before that, had Tonga Loa come back.
Right. Right.
I said, what? Tonga Loa joining Solo and JC? Not calling him JC. Jeff Hobbs? Come on. With Tala Tonga now? Which was, we could have kept the Hikalea. I would have been okay with that. But again, my man Jacob Fatu, man, the man with the magic boot, definitely delivered. I ain't gonna lie, man. He was just getting jumped left and right. And I get it. You got to do that to the Samoan werewolf. You got to do that to the man with the magic boot. You got to do that to the big blood. Because when it comes to Jacob Fatu, that man truly is all gas,
All gas,
no brakes.
no
with
brakes.
it, man. Come on. Yeah, know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, man. This was a great match, though, man. I mean, you talk about just the surprise factor. You talk about just even the in-ring chemistry that Jacob and Solo's got, man. They were really good. They were telling the story in the match as it was going. I mean, talking to each other. And I love how the camera was just right there on them as they were saying it because it really showed more of the story that they wanted to tell with it, man. I loved everything about this match. For Jacob to lose, hey, I get it. But at the same time, we're thinking about this. My man only had that title for about 2 months. So I don't know what it is with that, with the Samoans only getting a 2-month reign, unless your name is Roman Reigns. But we got to change that because Jacob Fatu should have had it a little bit longer. But I'm okay with this. For Solo, hey, he might have this title maybe 4 or 5 months. And honestly, because when you had just one man behind you, now you got 4 men behind you. And this is great. I love everything about what Solo is doing, man. This was great. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement here. The only thing about it is the United States Championship is changing hands relatively quick. I think we've had 4 different champions now. I mean, I know LA Knight is in there twice, but went from LA Knight to Shinsuke, back to Knight, then to Jacob, now to Solo, and that has all happened in the last 6 months, I think, of the year, which is it's kind of crazy, but I like this. I like the way it was done. I like the way this match went. I'm so happy for Solo because what it's reminded me of with Solo is it reminds me of The Rock. How he came out as Rocky Maivia and nobody really bought him, and then just over time they kind of allowed The Rock to be The Rock, and we started to see this hilarious side to him, from the facial expressions he would make, some of the things he would say on the mic, and fans grew to love him. And I think we're seeing something very similar here with Solo, in the sense that when he was initially brought in, he was brought in as his enforcer. He always had this serious scowl and face and personality, and I think when they tried to pass him the Rock as far as making him the head of the table, fans really weren't able to buy into that because they just didn't know enough about Solo. He was just the enforcer to the tribal chief for a while. But now his personality is starting to come through. The 4 letters, 1 word, stop. You know,
Stop.
the all gas, no brains. Just the mannerisms that he
Yeah.
has. The yarami, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course I know what you mean.
it's hilarious, and I think that he's starting to like ingratiate or endear himself, I should say, to the fans. And I think more and more people, the more and more people see him on television and his personality, it's starting to grow. But what I do like about this too, though, is how they did this match, because when you got the Samoan Werewolf, this man is crazy. Okay, he's a wild card, and so the fact that it took what 3 or 4 different people interfering in this match in order to take him down, I like it. I also like where it leaves him, because Solo has been trying for weeks to give him this opportunity to come back and just say, Solo, I
I
love you,
love you.
but he wouldn't do it. And now, he takes this beat down. So I think though, and what I thought about instantly, and I real quick, and I'll wrap it up and pass it to you, Jay, is I thought, you know what, this would be a good opportunity here to have a split in the like Samoan bloodline, because now you got Jacob. You can put Jimmy and Jay back together, and they still throwing my man Jimmy out there to catch beat downs. He just took another one on Friday night. That's is diabolical work what's happening right now. But you can put them back together, and then you still got to figure out, where does Roman Reigns, if he does come back, fall in this. And so I kind of like this idea that maybe, we're just guessing here, that there could be this story of 2 rivaling families, from the Samoan side, going at it for dominance. Because I can't see Fatu crawling back to Solo after this. I can't. So yeah, so I'm really interested to see where this story goes. But it was a great match, and I like the fact that Solo actually has a championship now.
Yeah, man. Josh, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Oh man, I thought it was, first of all, Solo, just round of applause for Solo, because like my man's is just so hilarious. Like I'm just echo everything y'all said. It's just his mannerisms, his little, even when he was making fun of Solo's shake yesterday in the ring, I'm like, come on, man, like why you gotta stop being this funny, because you just elevating on my favorites list right now, and it's like, come on, because like I have my number 1s, 2, and 3s. I don't want to mess up that list right now. And I think that right now, because of Cena being part-time, I think Solo's about to benefit that OD right now, because he's going to essentially be the top champion on SmackDown. And you're going to want to promote him and the new Tonga Loa. Tonga Great. The magnificent Tonga Loa came back. Like, and he didn't botch anything yesterday. Like, he did actually everything pretty clean. So I'm like, yo, he's really been practicing and training. And it's like, my boy, maybe he's just excited to be back, or maybe because of Hikuleo, or what was the name they called him?
Talatonga.
Talatonga. I mean, whatever.
It's a lot of Tongas.
A lot of Tongas, but it makes sense. They brothers. I guess they want to have the Usos versus the Tongans eventually, which cool. But I just thought like Solo is just amazing. Like I can't wait for Solo's celebration on SmackDown, and just everything's going to be great about it. As for Jacob, though, he's definitely not going to go back to Solo. It's obviously going to be him and Big Jim for a minute, like going against them. At least I feel like, and then eventually this could lead to, because in all honesty, what does Jay do right now? Like on Raw, what is Jay like? We don't want to see him in the IC title picture. At least I don't. I don't want to see him in the IC title picture. He's not going to be in the world title picture at least until after SummerSlam. At least I think maybe he has a chance to fight Gunther again at SummerSlam. Maybe that's gonna be the next thing. But then after that, I don't see him beating Gunther at SummerSlam, because one thing WWE has a problem with, and I'm sorry for straying away to Gunther, is that WWE doesn't know how to book Gunther without a title, at least in my opinion. So I think Jay is eventually gonna head back to the Bloodline story, which I'm cool with. Because I would like to see Jacob and the Usos versus these guys. Because like I said, when Roman comes back, what does Roman do? Because he's essentially the tribal chief. It's not like anybody is fighting over the Ula Fowler right now. But as tribal chief, your family is going crazy right now. What are you going to do as a tribal chief to calm this down and fix it? Because if you can't, then we gotta start looking at you as tribal chief. And are you really the tribal chief? Because if you're not helping the family and because I do believe when Roman comes back, he could either go there, or I also have him possibly going into Cody and Cena stuff. Just to make it different. I don't think so. I could be dead wrong on that. But what does Roman do when he comes back? Because it's not like the bloodline stuff is really affecting him at the moment. But like I said, as the tribal chief, you gotta calm down your family because they're going crazy right now. So I'm excited for Solo's title run. I'm excited to see what Fatu gonna do, because I don't know if y'all saw over the weekend for Fanatics Fest, but Randy Orton told Zilla, "I'll see you soon." So maybe I'm looking too deep into that, but does that mean that possibly he could be making his debut soon? And maybe him and
there's
Zilla,
the fourth.
Right, there goes the fourth. It could, you could keep Roman. Right, it could be the two Fatus and the two Usos versus the other four. So who knows? And then that's when Roman got to come back. Like, you got four here, you pick a side. Or something like that. I don't know, but I'm excited because just when you think the bloodline is dead, they just find a way. They just find a way 5 years later.
Back in.
Like 5 years later. That's crazy. And I thought this was going to be done a long time ago. So I give them credit for keeping it alive. I'm excited for Solo. And yeah, let's see what happens next.
Yeah, but Jay, I will say I do believe you're cooking with that idea in the sense that, when Jacob was sitting in the ring looking out at the four, at Solo, Talatonga, JC Mateo, and who am I forgetting? What's the other one?
Tongaloa. There we go.
Yeah, Tongaloa. Thank you. Yeah. I was thinking he's got to be thinking, I need help. I need somebody, and Zilla Fatu would be perfect. Like you said, if you paired Zilla, the Usos, and Jacob together going against Solo and his faction, I really do love the idea of Roman having to come back and really settle everything because they're the two warring sides of the family. That could be a really good story, that they can tell over the next few months leading into, going into WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble and into Survivor Series, stuff like that. But I really do want to see where this goes. I'm really interested in this because Jacob is going to have his own four. He's going to, especially with the way Solo is cooking right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I think another thing we got to think about too. We got to remember about the Tamatonga.
I forgot.
Because if Tamatonga comes back, who is he signing with? Now, I personally think he's going to sign with Jacob Fatu. I think because we got to think about the history that they've had together, and I can't see him signing with Solo after everything that's happened. Now, I think if Tamatonga joins back with Jacob Fatu, now that causes friction with Tongaloa and with Talatonga. So that's another little storyline we could be looking at too, because maybe they're looking at each other. Whoa, what side are you picking? I'm like, nah, I've been with Jacob this whole time while you was gone. So I think that could also play a factor too. He could also be that fourth member as well. So we also got to think about Tamatonga, man. Like, he could be a big factor to play in that. So that again, they got so many layers to pull back like an onion, man. I can't wait, and I think they got something really good and cooking up. But the next match we really got to talk about, man, Jade Cargill versus Asuka. Now I'm not gonna lie, the Saudi crowd. Look, y'all got to stop doing my women like this, man. Y'all can't keep doing this, man. Y'all did this last year to Bianca, and now y'all gonna do this to Jade. I can't say. Now y'all did it on Friday Night SmackDown to my girl Naomi. Wait, why are we still not seeing caution tape around the briefcase? I have said this for weeks since she has won this title. She needs caution around that tape. But anyway, that's beside
the point. They don't want to confirm that they're listening to us.
Man, they don't. They want. I'm telling you, the money's right there. People would buy it.
Instantly.
I myself just to have it, honestly. But I mean, this match was a banger. I like this match. Some people say, Asuka carried Jade Cargill. I didn't feel that way in a lot of ways. I thought Jade really held her own in a lot of ways, and I think she's still improving. Now, of course, where does this lead? Oh, you know where this is about to lead. What we told y'all, the Mania. Look at what happened on SmackDown when we seen Jade Cargill and Tiffy Tom in the tag team match. And when Jade Cargill held that title, gave it back to Tiffy, caution in the bank herself, Naomi came and attacked both of them and held the title up. Bro, Jade Cargill, I'm tell you right now, that's a foreshadow. We're going to see that on SummerSlam. Okay, because look, yes, now that we know that Jade Cargill is going to SummerSlam to face Tiffany Stratton, best believe we are definitely going to see, as soon as Jade wins that title, you're going to see Naomi run on out and do what she got to do. And sure, caution in the bank, boy. Because look, it's good. It's good for it. Honestly, and again, for Oscar, pulled off a great bang of a match. Now, for Oscar, I think we might still see a match with her and Io Sky at Evolution. They ought to push it down. We only got, what, 2 weeks left? Yeah. Do it now. You already done planted the seed for that. Do it. Now, if you don't want to do it then, you can do it for SummerSlam. But y'all know how y'all love Mommy in the Bank, and honestly, we know how Mommy is when it comes to SummerSlam. She has lost a couple of times. Again, we talking about last year. Yeah, she definitely lost against Liv. So, that could play a big factor. So we could be possibly seeing Rhea versus Io. I think we might be seeing Austin versus Io at Evolution, and that could be a banger of a match. So again, for Jade and Oscar, y'all pulled a great match. When it comes to my people in Saudi, I love y'all. But stop doing my peoples like this, man. That is not right.
Right.
That is not right. Now, Brandon, y'all gave love to the Street Profits, and you better do that for the Profits, okay? Because it's understandable. But you can't do that to the ladies, bro. They ain't looking good for y'all. I get it. Y'all love everybody else. But when it comes to Bianca and Jay, we're just going to boo them, huh? When it comes to Naomi, we're just going to boo them, huh? That's okay. That's all right. Ain't my problem, but it is my problem. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. What are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in the Saudi crowd, the way they they acted toward the women of color, we will say. And I mean, it is what it is. They went crazy for Rhea, they went crazy for Oscar. They were chanting Oscar the whole time. Anytime Jay got any offense in, they didn't like it. They booed her, like crazy. But Jay did a good job fight through, and I like her response to, at the end, when she got on the mic and talked about winning the Queen of the Ring. I did think that this was a really solid match because, Jade is in the ring with one of the best women to ever do it in Asuka. Asuka is a phenomenal in-ring wrestler. And so, to see her go over kind of and hold her own in this type of match, was really impressive. And so, yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her in this opportunity, but I see it going south really quick because Naomi, this story has to continue the way that it's going because it to me it's setting up for something big at WrestleMania between a Naomi, a Jade Cargill, and a Bianca Belair. That's just the way I see it going, and I'm in the same lane as you, where I see Jade Cargill, and I honestly I don't care which way it goes. I was gonna say I see Jade Cargill beating Tiffy Time, and then Naomi coming in to cash out. But even if Jade falls short or is about to beat Tiffy, but Naomi comes out and ruins that way, it's not one of those things where she had the title for like a split second. That could work too. But the point is that Naomi will take the opportunity right off of her plate, and then that story will continue going into this whole thing of Bianca Belair, the friendship between Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. So I'm happy for Jade, this opportunity that she has. And I thought the match was very solid. And I don't really have too many complaints or things to complain about when it comes to Jade and her in-ring growth that we have seen over the last year and a half. So
yeah, man. Josh, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, man. I just want to give Jade props. She's definitely, like you said, shown growth, and she's gotten so much better compared to starting out to now. Jade, good job to you. You still could get better, but you've improved a lot. Because that match yesterday was really good. Probably the weakest match of the night, but still a really good match. And yeah, with this whole thing with Jade, and man, I still think Bianca low-key helped Naomi. And I hope Oh, one more thing. The Saudi crowd could definitely say there's a certain R word without saying there's a certain R word because that was crazy yesterday. And like, come on, leave my girls alone.
Yeah.
Nah, I
Like,
feel that.
especially Naomi. Like, I mean, I get you're supposed to boo Naomi, but like, y'all was just doing extra work because no, like, especially Jade. Don't boo Jade because that outfit yesterday was the outfit of the night. Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
yo,
fire.
that
Still
Fire.
look like a
joint was
glamazon
fire.
out there.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Just
goodness. So honestly, I who's gonna play the heel in the Jade Tiffy role? Is Tiffy gonna go back to being heel? Because I would love to see a heel Tiffy versus Jade way more than a face versus face because I don't think that's gonna necessarily work because I think the match itself is gonna be good, but where's the outside of the title? There's really no beef, and I think that's gonna be my only concern at the moment is like the face versus face thing. Is if Tiffy could go back to being heel, then I'm cool with it. I think it's gonna cook because then you're gonna obviously include Naomi and all that. And where does Bianca fit in all that? So that's probably my biggest concern is the face versus face thing. Um, Outside of that, I think that Jade is gonna beat Tiffy at SummerSlam because is being that SummerSlam is 2 nights. Are the winners gonna main event both nights? Because if the winners are gonna main event both nights, I think SummerSlam is gonna be the first pay per view where we're gonna see 2 cash-ins because
see. Mm-hmm.
Naomi is definitely cashing in. I think that's a guarantee because the moment Jade gets that title, haha, you got your first title, and I took it from you in, let's say, 3 minutes and 26 seconds, and that's the time she's gonna run with until Mania. And then you're gonna possibly have Seth cashing on night 2. So like I think that's gonna be my biggest intriguement right now is the cash-ins because I'm really concerned about the face versus face thing with Tiffany and her. That's really my biggest concern.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Honestly, if anybody was to go heel, I would say maybe it might work better for Jade to go heel. I mean, she had a when she was in AEW. I mean, I like how she was the I'm that. I was like, you know what? Go
Yeah,
ahead, Jade. I like that side of Jade. So I'm hoping to kind of see more of that side of Jade kind of, pop out and show them. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
I feel like at this point for Jade, yeah, you got booed in Saudi, but let's take that momentum and just push it against more for your character. You know what I'm saying? So hoping for that for Jade. Okay,
So
I
real
see my
quick, two
man. I
things.
like that.
Jay, I liked your point. Her outfit of the night was fire, and when my girl said at the
Yes.
end, that a storm is coming, I said, "Baby, you already look like Aurora Monroe," and I'm
I'm
talking X-Men
saying.
Storm. I mean, look just like her. That
Like if that wasn't her saying to the MCU, "Hey, you could cast
hey,
me," like
you can
come
cast me
on,
as Storm. She looked
like
like Storm. Like, I
literally.
mean, it was yeah. But and I left this up here too because she has Caesar. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Exclusive Nights podcast. Thank you for listening and watching and joining in to the conversation. But this is an excellent point. I didn't even think about this myself. And he said it was a big year for the big three. That Bianca wins the Elimination Chamber, Naomi wins Money in the Bank, and then Jade wins Queen of the Ring.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
That's an
yeah.
excellent
yeah,
point. So thank you for sharing that with us.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's a great point, and I think
Yeah,
that's a great thing for the big three
Yeah,
because
I didn't think about
I
that.
think where we're all gonna see it is the big three at WrestleMania
mm-hmm.
42.
I
Okay,
agree.
and that's gonna be a banger of a match, man.
Yeah.
But we got to go to the main event. Oh man, the main event, boy. This one was a good one here. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Both of these men really pulled out all the stops, and I love what they did. I love the story that was told. By the way, shout out to my man, the doctor of punkonomics, CM Punk, for pulling out that promo on SmackDown. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that man had a lot of bars
He
that I was
really
just like,
did.
yo,
Yeah.
I said, who wrote this? Who wrote this for you? Because I know when nobody in the bag. So somebody had to write this for you. And whoever wrote that, hey, kudos to you. Kudos to you for making that promo and making those bars for CM because that was now. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, if you wrote that, no Ghost Rider. See why you said you to Kendrick and John Cena's your Drake. Get it? That bar even told even more than what we would think. Look, that was great, man. Look, I love everything they did from SmackDown to what they did the other night, man. I love everything they did with this, man. I mean, I think one of my favorite parts, of course, seeing my man, the Monday Night Messiah. Okay. Seth Rollins trying to cash in. And the funny thing was, what I thought was crazy, Seth trying to Ric Flair's son. We know who that is. Man, known for running down this entrance ramp. Okay, we remember what he did WrestleMania 28 when he was doing that for Edge and Undertaker running.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my man ran almost a mile running down that and still hit the 1-2.
On your
Not
left.
enough. Come on, literally. And this man, I mean, John Cena. Okay, it's like this week he's just hitting these incredible, crazy, just linebacker tackles. Because we seen Willow do it to that man, Wheeler Unity the other night. And now John Cena's doing this to referees. Man, this is crazy. John, if you don't get a fine for this, you want to talk about nepotism? That's insane, man. I'd have fined John Cena right then and there.
On
But
the
I mean,
spot.
again, on the spot, because that was a great match. And what's crazy, talk about Pops, how John Cena came out, and talk about Pops when CM Punk came out, man. CM Punk has literally altered the whole way how the crowd seen him within that one day. Of course, some people talked about CM Punk pushing the kid. I said there could have been a lot of things going on with that whole situation. But it went from that to him going to the press conference, apologizing to a few people, to literally right after that, people just popping for him every single time. And it was a banger. Great match. They told the story well. I don't know what's next for CM Punk at this point. I would hope to see him try to push himself more for a world title. To be honest, I mean, at this point, you can go for the World Heavyweight title against Gunther if you want to. I don't know the results will be the same. But again, I think still this man, Jonathan Cena, okay, Jonathan Cena killed it, man, and I thought this was great. Uh, Again, I'm not mad about a thing that they did. Bronson Reed going crazy, Braun Breaker, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing. So yeah, they pulled off a great thing. They told the story. It was a lot, and even when John Cena was telling Seth, "What are you doing? This is my moment. What do you think you're trying to do here?" And then hit him with the A&A, man. Great match. They popped for him. Even at the end, he said, "Watch this again before you cut off." I mean, I like how he's telling the camera crew, "Don't turn this off until I tell you to turn it off." Mommy, a little bit of the final boss, a little bit, so I get it. But again, y'all delivered. This was the banger. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, yeah. Thought it was a great way to end the night. A great match. I loved seeing Seth Rollins come out and kind of put himself or implicate himself into this picture. I for a second I thought that it was going to be like we discussed on Exclusive Minds, which if you haven't checked that out, go back and take a look at that. That was a very fun
Check
episode. I
that out.
continue to say it, but I had talked about on there, and this is what I meant to loop back around to was Seth Rollins has to cash his money in the bank in on the undisputed title specifically. And so seeing him come out and for this, I'm like, okay, so they see the vision as well. Because I think when we talk about saving wrestling, like I said, with Cena and CM Punk, I liked this right here. And I I would have liked to have seen this happen with a CM Punk win or of the title from John Cena, but obviously we kind of know that probably wasn't going to be the route. And now that John Cena already had this match with CM Punk, I don't know if they will set up a second match between them. So that's kind of out of the window. But I just think about the heat and the story that would have came from a CM Punk finally winning the championship, because even in this match, they talked about their records being 6-6 and how many championships the last time I think CM Punk won the championship was from Cena, if I remember correctly, and they was talking about in 2011 or 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so the story that could have been there for CM Punk winning the championship being cashed in on by Seth Rollins, who we know foils every single plan CM Punk has because he dislikes CM Punk. I thought they really could have been cooking there, but it didn't go that way. John Cena gets the win over CM Punk. Seth Rollins still has the money in the bank. We got Cody Rhodes going to be facing John Cena at SummerSlam. And so here is another situation where Cody Seth Rollins can still cash in that money in the bank, and there's still a story there, in the sense that we know that Cody and Seth have their history together.
Yep.
And then also, it also looked something interesting too, but in the sense that there was a little bit of a setup to me in there too with Seth and John Cena. Like you said, with the
Mm-hmm.
whole "what are you doing?" This is I got this. Like you're not gonna ruin my night, that type of thing. So I'm really interested to see how he's going to cash this in, because at this point in time, to me, there is no saving wrestling by cashing in on Gunther. I'm sorry. I just don't see that being the story that you need
Yeah.
to tell. It has to be for the undisputed title. And even if it is a cash in on the undisputed title, when Roman Reigns comes back, there's a story there with Seth and Roman. Like there's so many different ways you can go with it. But it has to be for this undisputed title. Now, to get back to the match itself, what I was impressed about was the fact that it actually went a little bit of length. I want a decent length, because with Cena as of late, we've been seeing these shorter matches. And one of the things they talked about even in the announcing was the fact that Cena's pace since coming back into the ring has been a lot slower, and how he's taking it more like frame by frame or step by step. He's not like really
Mm-hmm.
picking up the paces in his matches and things of that nature. And a lot of it is because he is older. He's 48 years old and things of that nature. And so I thought the fact that this match actually went a little bit of time was a good thing. And part of it is also because this is probably the last time Cena will be in a ring with the CM Punk, and so you probably want to give that some due respect, versus like when you're going against a Ron Killings and your match ends in like 3 minutes. But this was a good match. It was good to see Cena kind of go the distance, so it lets me know that it's still there. It may be more of a traditional style of match, which is great because, like Jay brought up earlier, and you talked about, we just saw Cody and Randy have more one of those traditional style of matches. So, at SummerSlam, they will be able to go the distance. If it is a 40, 45-minute match, it's going to be a very traditional and old school match and style of wrestling, which is okay. It's still good to see that works in today's wrestling industry. So, yeah, good match. Good match.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Josh, what are your thoughts,
Yo,
man? What you think?
listen, Cena's my GOAT. June 27, 2002 is when I became a fan. His debut. CM
Wow.
Punk, for me personally, saved wrestling with that pipe bomb in a time where I was like almost done with WWE. And pipe bomb drop, he saved wrestling for me. I never looked back. And so just this was nostalgia mixed with like, I can't believe I'm watching this again. And it was just the match, CM Punk and Cena kill it again. And I'm now expecting a Cena match to always end with just running after shenanigan, and I'm all for it. Like it was just magical. It was beautiful. Like I loved it. Penta got me tight. I don't know. I haven't really seen anybody brought this up. But why are you strutting
Yeah.
down the ring? Like I've seen Jeff
Yo.
dance. I've seen Jay getting ready to dance, but then they snap out of it real quick. Like, oh shit. Penta is just like a good 5 seconds. Like, Penta, what are you doing? I get Cena. It's not like, come on, Penta. Like,
It was
do
crazy
better.
work.
And then Braun is like, I see Braun's face like, I mean, technically speaking, I could keep beating up Cena. I don't really got to go out there. So I'm like, Braun, you don't got to go run after him. He's just strutting anyway. So let him be. I thought that was hilarious. So
I
that
forgot
just,
you did that.
yeah.
And Sammy, I forgot about Sammy. Even when Sammy came, I'm like, what is going on here?
Yo, it
Then
was so
Penta just jumps
crazy.
off the rim. Yeah, man, it was good. It was good
Oh
stuff.
man, it was so good. It was so entertaining, and it's like Cena's matches these days is a mix of old school and just all the craziness, like the slow, methodical pace of just like I'm gonna work the heel towards you, like just not pick a certain body part, but I'm gonna just be slow about it, and I'm gonna keep the pace slow, and then when the shenanigans happens, that's when things are gonna pick up. And I think it's just a great blend, and they found a really good balance of Cena matches these days because it's like I said, he's older, so and he's not as active in the ring anymore. Like there's one thing from being in great shape and being in wrestling shape. When The Rock first came back, he was always in great shape, but you could tell he wasn't in wrestling shape. So Cena has a little bit of that nowadays, but because he's still technically more active than The Rock was when he first came back, just the blend and just Cena is just great. But it's like I said too, the whole thing with Seth Rollins, where does this go long term now after this? What does CM Punk do after this? I personally think you keep CM Punk in the title picture. You have him force his way into the title match with Cena and Cody, and you just have him like obviously he's gotta now settle his thing with Punk over Seth again. Aren't they technically 1-1 against each other now? Like since their matches? Just
Yeah.
correct me if all right. So maybe they have a match at SummerSlam after this, and that will be their Cody Punk Hell in the Cell match. I mean, well, yeah, Cody when Seth and Cody had the Hell in the Cell match to end it, and then when Punk and Drew had their Hell in the Cell match to end it, that might be what Punk and Seth now has to do, Hell in the Cell at SummerSlam, and that could be the night one main event. Most likely, that could be the main event, and then have Seth cash in on night two, or whatever the case. Like I don't know, because it's like I said, Seth has to cash in on the WWE title. If he doesn't, then like, what was the point of saying I'm gonna save wrestling if you're one, Cena's trying to destroy wrestling, and two, let's say if Punk inserts himself into that match and it somehow becomes a triple threat, and let's say Punk finally wins the title after so many years of being away, just for Seth to take that away instantly. Yeah. Or same thing with Cody. Cody beats Cena, gets the title. No, Seth finally gets his win over Cody. Whoever is that champion, even if Roman wins the title and Seth still hasn't cashed in, because Seth doesn't have to cash in at SummerSlam. He doesn't. He could wait. Seth is that type of brain where he's like, I got y'all thinking I'm gonna cash in there, when in reality I'm gonna cash in at the Rumble, for example, or I'm gonna wait to an Elimination Chamber match to cash in. Like, there's so many, like Seth. I think Seth is going to cash in, but Seth doesn't have to cash in because there's so many layers with so many different people winning that title that the options is almost limitless. But it has to be the WWE title because, like I said, Cody wins. I finally beat Cody. Even if it was a cash in, you think Seth is going to look at it as like, oh, I only beat him because it was a cash in? No, a win is a win is a win. That's what Seth is going to say. So and then again, if Punk wins it, I save wrestling from Punk, or I save wrestling from Cena. If Roman wins it, Roman's never here. He's a part-timer too. I save wrestling. It has to be that title. To be that title. Seth also, I don't know if y'all heard, there's rumors of a possible fourth member for Seth's group, and there's two choices between Ethan Page and Ricky Saints.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. I need it to be Ethan Page.
Yeah.
And I need Ethan Page to be the reason why Seth's cash-in is successful.
Yes.
As his debut. Like Braun, and both Brauns are taken out by whoever's there. It's Seth. Oh, I'm knocked out. Oh my God, they're gonna hit me. Boom, low blow. Like, it has to be Ethan Page.
Yeah.
He is perfect for
the
that
ego.
group. Oh my goodness.
The ego.
Have him as the champion. Have Ethan Page as IC champion. The Brauns as tag team champions. Like, just give them everything. That's what I want to see as the follow-up to when Judgment Day. I think this is going to be Judgment Day's last summer run.
Yeah.
And Seth's group is right there to take over.
Almost a new undisputed era. Hey, real quick, I want to touch base on his because this is a good thing comment, and again, and because we've talked about this, and that's why we were going back and forth for the longest time about this cash in, about it not being for the undisputed title, is because of the fact that Seth is on Raw. But we've since kind of changed our tune on that too, in the sense that lately what we've noticed is there really is no line anymore. Like, we're seeing people that are on Raw cross over into SmackDown. We're seeing people that are on SmackDown cross over and show up on Raw. And then we know at some point, and I think we talked about this during SummerSlam or after SummerSlam, is when they plan on drafting or doing the draft or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be sometime in September.
I that's how I see Seth going to SmackDown. I mean, at this point, you don't have Roman anymore to carry that flagship. You don't have Cody right now as the champion. Cena, we know his run is getting ready to end. You want another big name there. Right. And so it's going to have to be Seth. And Seth would ultimately have to go there because he's the undisputed WWE title, because Gunther has the Raw title. I just don't see, again, I can't say it enough, how cashing in on Gunther would fit the narrative of what Seth has been saying. You're saving wrestling from Gunther. Like, he's the ring general, but we don't need him to save wrestling by beating Gunther. So it has to be in this plot line of John Cena, a CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Seth. and so that's how I see that working. And then the last little thing I want to bring up real quick, Rob Johnson, check him out. He does Gold Standard Wrestling, does great work there. And he, to me, had the comment of the night for me because he, of course, brought up the Ruler, who I would love to see on the main roster, who I would love to see in a match with the Ring General. And if they were to make that happen, hey, look, you got my money all day, every day. I love, how I feel about Obafemi, and to see him and the Ring General go at it, man.
Come on now. That's big cup with that one.
Yeah.
Big facts.
But we talked about a lot of the great things that happened with Night of Champions, of course, with Jade, King Cody, Rhea, Mommy, okay, and of course the
Always
four letters, one word, stop, Solo, okay, and the good old Jonathan Cena himself, the Never Seen 17. So, as always, make sure you guys follow all of our social medias. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, we on that as well. Okay, and of course, we appreciate all the love and support that you guys are giving us. Hey,
thank you.
Josh, again, thank you again for jumping on with us. TikTok legend himself, you
appreciate
know what I'm saying? We'd love to have you back on here again, as always.
Yes,
I can give my TikTok a shout out?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Give it,
let me put you on the big screen.
Of course, follow me on TikTok, Joshi IEE 248 _ 248 for Kobe, best player ever. Follow me on TikTok. Talk wrestling, sports, anime. Let's talk about it.
Hey, I love it. Anime, I love it.
Let's talk about it all, man. Hey, so as always, we are the Exclusive Nights, and we always ensure that we are the best there is, the best there was, and the best it ever will be. To ensure that your nights will never be the same. Come on now.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hey, the chills out.